already been subscribed. Right now, the queen, she on live.
Right now.
Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul sporting with the talk. First lady from New York,
Brooklyn.
All my people, you rocking with the chat.
Hit that.
The like button would tell me where you at. You know, Step from the NBK. Born and raised up NBK. Hey, real lady, where she holding it down. No matter way how you feel, she gon' greet you with a smile.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's her.
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
What?
Dope Soul.
What?
Your soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Salute, Knick family. Welcome to the channel, Dope Soul Sports Talk, Dope Soul Knicks Talk. Welcome to the weekly show where we talk about all the storylines related to the New York Knicks since we last met. We just kicking it, or as I like to say, just nicking it. And we got a lot to talk about. Obi Toppin is back. He's healthy. He didn't play last game, but my understanding is once he gets a few practices under his belt that he will. So we'll talk about, you know, again, will the rotation expand? Have we seen the last of Sims? Is Sims now situational, even though defensively I think he's played very well? The early returns for the All-Star voting has happened. No Nick. Well, I shouldn't say no Nick. There's a surprise Nick on the ballot and some surprises up and down the early returns. So we'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about trade rumors, and we'll talk about our offense, you know, as far as points per game, as far as offensive rating, any which way you slice it. If you look at the entire season, if you look at the 8-game winning streak, if you look at, you know, without Barrett, our offense is pretty good. But the your turn, my turn offense, we're just going to break it down. Is that sustainable, especially when we play tougher teams? And is that the best we can do right now? So we're going to talk about all of it. Welcome. Oops, I like this one better. Jerrell, resident panelist, and Ray from the Delusional Knick Fan Network. Welcome. His first time on Dope Soul Sports Talk. Appreciate him joining us, and he'll tell us a little bit also about his channel. We'll also drop the link so that you guys can subscribe. You know, we do a pretty good job supporting Knick content creators. I'm here because nothing but Knicks and Freezy and a lot of other player channels supported me, right? So I'm gonna do the same. All right. Welcome, fellas.
Thank you, Steph. Salute, Ray. Salute to the chat, man. You know, it's always a good time on Thursday nights. You know what I mean? It get kind of crazy, Ray. I don't know if you watched this show that many times, but around 11 o'clock, the chat go get real crazy. It's always around that time, right around 11 o'clock. So, you know, be prepared to, you know, chill out for like an hour and a half. But yeah, we will, once we start getting to the random stuff at the end, it gets pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure and an honor, definitely, Queen, to have me on. Jerrell, it's definitely an honor and pleasure to be around your presence. And let's talk Knicks.
Yeah, let's talk Knicks. Shout out to those that are in the chat already. Kerry Cox, Deron Wayne, Jeffrey Clafter, Wonder Woman, appreciate you. Gerald D. MacGyver, Keith Turner, Craig, appreciate you, and Kevin Bergen. All right. So let's just get, you know, right into it. Obi Toppin is back. You know, the reports are that he's healthy. He wasn't on the injury report the last game, but he didn't play. You know, part of it is just that he hadn't practiced. I think he practiced with the G League team. Then he was called back up to the Knicks, and he'll travel with them to Toronto Friday for tomorrow's game. Now, whether or not he gets some light or not, we don't know. But right now, as Tibbs says, he's situational until he gets some practices under his belt. Now, that means either we're going to expand the rotation to 10, or iHeart or Sims is coming out of the rotation. I'm for an expanded rotation. I just feel like the team has played, the starters have played a lot of minutes. I'll bring up some stats. Our bench scoring is down significantly, And when you're not getting a lot of scoring from your bench, then you have to lean on your starters, and so now you don't really want to pull them out the game, because what if you go down by, 5, 10, 12 points? We got players in that second unit right now who are good at what they do. Very good. You think of Sims, you think of McBride, very good at what they do, but you're not going to get a lot of offense from them. Obi Toppin is not a defensive player. What does that do for our defense? So we got a lot to talk about. What's your initial thoughts on Obi Toppin? I'll check in with the chat afterwards. Are you on board with him coming back and being in part of the rotation? And do you think it should be expanded, or he should take the place of someone?
I'm actually all for it, even though, I'm not a fan of Obi's defense. He, really lackluster on that side of the court. But, like you said, we need scoring off the bench. So I hope they expand it, because I actually do like Sims playing. And I kind of think if, once RJ comes back, if they do set it to 9 still and Obi comes back as well, Sims is going to be the one that's out. So I kind of like Sims and iHeart playing at the same time. But, Obi, I know Obi is just going to get minutes. Tibbs is going to give him minutes. The front office wants him to have minutes. And once he's healthy, I don't think Tibbs is going to be worried about, playing Obi. Like minute restrictions isn't really Tibbs' thing, except for when I don't know you guys remember when he hurt himself. I think his rookie year. Remember, Obi didn't. He came off the bench obviously, but he really was playing for 2 minutes a game for 3 or 4 games in a row. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like this time. Like, I heard that he practiced with the G League today, and I don't even think he practiced that long. I don't think he stayed for the whole practice. He was just killing and left. So I think he's actually going to play tomorrow, but we'll see. But I think it's a good thing just because of the scoring. But like you said, the defense probably will suffer, and I don't know. We know what that looked like too, so we'll see.
Yeah. I believe Tibbs will have him sit this Toronto game, only because Spicy P kind of devoured us the last game.
Oh,
so
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, so just mixing it up with straight defense, Sims for the most part, Randle on him. Hopefully Randle starts the game on him, just to prove that point, instead of Mitch. And then we can gradually just throw bodies at him, not one defender, just constantly throw bodies. So where the minutes for him to come, I have no idea, but I believe he's going to sit this next game out as well.
Yeah, let me pull this up. This is just what's been going on for this season. Obi Toppin, 25 games, only 17 minutes. Randle has been balling. I don't even know if he gets 17.
Right.
Hopefully, if he is back in the rotation, if he is playing behind Randle, hopefully so. So Randle minutes can come down a little bit, but he was averaging 17 minutes, 7.7 points, 3.8 rebounds, 1 assist, shooting 42.1% from the field, 35% from the 3-point line, and 82.4% from the free throw line. Jerrell Sims in 31 games, 12.6 minutes, 3.7 points, 4.2 rebounds, shooting 78% from the field and 80% from the free throw line. Now, I don't know how many attempts he's had, but remember last season he was 51%, I think, from the free throw line. And in college, his free throw numbers went down every year. And so I was like, what are the chances that someone is able to reverse that, and shoot better? So I don't think he's had a lot of attempts, but right now he's at 80%. Isaiah Hartenstein in 39 games, 19 minutes, 5.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, 0.8 assists, 50.6% from the field, 25% from 3, 75.7% from the free throw line. And all three of these guys are low turnover, guys. So, they don't play a lot of minutes anyway. But they're not turning it over in those minutes. Jerrell, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just looked up Sims' free throw numbers. He 8 out of 10.
Oh, so he's taking 10.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
taking 10, made 8. I'll take it.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, 10 is enough to miss 5.
Right.
You know,
I'll
so
take it. He's obviously, gotten a lot better.
and not just that, he's not like he might get 2 and he may not get another free throw for another 5 games.
Right.
So it's not even like he's somebody that's in rhythm, you know?
Right, true.
So wow. Yeah, anything else on well, let me see what the chat is saying about these 3. If the chat has any preference between expanding the rotation. I know somebody said Hartenstein should be out of the rotation. He's definitely not playing as well as I expected him to play, but his rebounding rate when he is on the floor is is pretty high. And that's the thing with Obi that you miss, unless he makes a concerted effort on the rebounding on his return. Quiet Money. Obi is and always was nothing more than trade bait. Tibbs in the front office never had any intention of increasing Obi's role like some fans suggested. I mean, I don't know if he was trade bait. I just think he was in a tough situation playing behind Randle. And we talked about this in the preseason. What was his path forward? Where was his minutes going to come from? People say, oh, he deserved more minutes, and he did. But where were they going to come from? They brought in Hartenstein, so he wasn't going to play the center. They had Mitch and Hartenstein. So that small ball rotation was unlikely. He can't really play the 3. Randle is not a 3. So, it just looked from the giddy up, as my family would say. There really wasn't a path forward in terms of minutes. And there you got 17.1 minutes, which is about what he played last season. Salute Corey Lee. Trav, I meant to get in touch with you. I wanted to play your little Randle song, but I didn't want to play it without getting in touch with you, and I got caught up. Pudge Nice Sims is out playing number 55. Yeah, they're different type of players, though.
Right.
They're totally different type of players. I love Jericho Sims in the pick and roll. He's getting better at blocking shots and being more of a rim protector. But I just like Hartenstein on the offensive end, though we don't use him to his strengths.
Right.
In terms of using his playmaking and the things he can do to help create shots. We don't use him that way.
Right.
So basically what we're getting from him is the rebounding.
Unfortunately, it's another signing from the front office that don't fit Tibbs. So it's a little weird, man. Like, he obviously doesn't fit this team. Tibbs doesn't use him to his strengths at all.
Right.
On offense, at least.
Right.
I think Tibbs doesn't use half our teams to their best ability offensive wise. When you look at Tibbs' traditional 5, the only one that truly had a great offensive game was Powell. And his game kind of took a recess because he was playing more of a defender as well. He still gave you the perimeter jump shots, but Tibbs just preferred.
Who did you say? Powell? Who was Powell?
Paul Gasol. Sorry, Paul Gasol. But I
don't even remember he played for Tibbs
in Chicago. Yeah.
Oh wow, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they did. And so, but Tibbs like his traditional 5 just to be defenders. From my take, then his power forwards are the face up guys. Carlos Boozer, things of that nature. So,
I mean, he did use. Now Derrick Rose was out when he used Noah. As a hub on offense, basically in terms of distributing the ball. And that's a role I think Hartenstein could play in that second team. In the second team. I think we saw it early in the season. Actually, there was a game where they were actually going through him and he was, setting guys up for the shot. But that was only one time. Then we saw, a few between. We'll see, a backdoor cut or a good pass. He has really good vision. But to your point, Ray, he just doesn't. He's not playing that way in our offense, and we can use it.
Oh yeah.
in that second unit. You know
what it could be? It's trust. Tibbs. It takes time for players to kind of grow on Tibbs. Look what it did with Obi. We saw Obi's progress. We were like, yes, start him, or even quickly. For a great example, we thought Quick was like, oh yeah, we have a point guard. Why are we still starting? We got our point guard that's in Detroit now. Like we can have Quick showed what he could do at start, but he's like, nah, I need, it could be he's not defending pick and rolls correctly, or one little thing that Tiz will literally sit you and kind of not stimp your growth, but show you like, no, you got to earn it. And I think that's the situation with Hartenstein. I think the purpose for him here was the spacing, was for him to space on that jump shot, and his threes are not dropping, even though he hasn't really had those situations to take.
He's not even taking them.
Right. Right.
And sometimes he'll take the floater, which is good. I like that shot. But there's sometimes when he get the ball, he don't even look to. He's looking to pass.
Right.
Well, because Tibbs probably was like, yeah, no, it's not working. Let's do something. Let's do something else. Because even Mitch game, I truly believe Mitch have a lot more than he can showcase.
Wow.
But he's on the leash. He's like, okay, I'm only going to take 3 dribbles, pass. Once we see him throw between the legs, everyone is like, oh, but it's like he can do that. Mitch, he trained down in Louisiana with Anthony Davis, so he, not to say he has AD type play or anything, but you're working with that player, you're going to learn something that you can bring forth to the game. So it's I love Tibbs, but Tibbs, you just have to earn it.
Right. I don't know about that one, but that is something that we've discussed, and it's been discussed in the rooms a lot. Is he limited offensively? Is he being held back? Now we've seen a few over the past two, maybe 3 games, him getting the ball in the post in the middle of the key, and turning around with the left-handed scoop shot. But for me, and I've said this before with Mitch, I just feel like it's like painfully slow. I just feel it's just like you'll see that and like you get like, oh my God, and then nothing else for like 29 games, so on the offensive end I'm talking about.
Right.
To the point where I've just made peace. I've made peace with 2 players. I made peace with Mitchell Robinson, his defense and offensive rebounding. Anything else is gravy. And I've made peace with Quickly. He's gonna over dribble a little. He's gonna over dribble at times.
Right.
It's gonna happen. Jeffrey Clafter, a big Obi Toppin fan, and he's not the only one. Not gonna sell low on Obi. If he gets dealt, it will be for a significant piece. But what do you consider a significant piece?
Like a large package, like Obi and a couple first-round picks for somebody, like a star?
Right. Because I'm just interested, Jeffrey Clafter, if you were trading Obi Toppin straight up, salaries wasn't an issue, and you were just trading him straight up for another player in the NBA, what level of player would you be going for with Obi Toppin?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would trade Obi for straight up.
Well, I guess I'm trying to get a sense of the level of player. Like, do you think we're a mid-level player, or you think you're going to trade him for a star straight up?
No way. Nah,
well, I mean, it depends on what that team direction is going to be. If they want to rebuild and get rid of veteran stars that want to get out,
right?
You could probably get Obi in there, get a deal. Shopping with a draft pick, and potentially can get someone. So it all depends on what the organization want to do.
Oh no, you can't. No, you're gonna get somebody. I'm just saying the level. I'm with you, Keith Turner. Anybody can go to upgrade this roster. I'm not attached to nobody. I just want to make sure that we're a better team with the incoming players.
Right.
I'm
not attached to anybody either. Yeah,
that's all I'm asking. Like, don't trade Randle and you coming back with 2 first-round picks and some Oreos. Like, we need players on on this on this roster. Quiet Money doesn't feel that Obi has a lot of trade value. I mean, I think like when they were talking about the Indiana trade, for him with Halliburton, if they're playing an up-tempo style, to your point, Ray, I could see them wanting someone like Obi Toppin, who's going to, run the floor, get baskets in transition, can also hit, the 3-point shot. His rebounding, who shows he can rebound when he makes a concerted effort to stay in the box and rebound.
Who we getting back? Who we get back in that trade?
The only thing I heard was a first round draft pick. I didn't hear any players.
Oh.
But I think we need players.
I'm about to say we got enough of those. We can't even draft all the players that we're going to have.
Right.
All the picks we're going to have, I mean. So, we need players now.
Right.
I think so too, but I think CAA got something up their sleeve. They know something. We just got the tampering charge, so maybe we still tampering on the back end.
Jeffrey Clafton says Duarte in a first at a minimum. At a minimum? I mean,
what's Duarte's numbers? Hold on, because to be honest,
he's not playing that well. He's another 6'5" guard. I think we have a few of those.
A slew.
So
and
if he was 6'7", because we can really use a small forward, I would do it. But I don't think if the Knicks can get a player and a first round pick for Obi Toppin, I'm all for it.
Yeah, see, we don't want Chris Duarte right now. He's shooting terribly right now. He's shooting 32%, 28 from the field. 28 from 3. Averages 6 points, 17 minutes, just like Obi. Nah, I'm good.
Right.
Might as well keep
Obi. But that doesn't mean he would play that on our team. But I just don't see. We got Grimes and Quickly.
Right.
Where would he play? Trav? This is who I would want.
You're a Jalen Smith fan like that?
Yes. Because for us, in the same 17 minutes, Obi's playing behind Randle, because it's not going to be a lot of minutes behind Randle anyway.
Right.
He can rebound.
He can.
And defend his position.
Yeah. And that's all we need right now.
Right.
But
and he can hit a 3. Now, I don't know what his percentage is, but he can, he can hit, he'll take them.
I'll look up Jalen Smith 3.
So, in a perfect world, I would like somebody who can play the 3 and the 4, that could play behind RJ and Randle.
Right.
Cam
would have been perfect for that. But
could play the 3. But I don't even know if Tibbs would have played him at the 4.
He could have, but you're right. That don't mean Tibbs would have played him at the 4.
But
Somebody
he could play the 3 and the 4, right? Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Trav said he got post up moves as well. Yeah, I like him. Now, with Indiana, I think he struggled a bit, this season.
Yeah, he's shooting 28% from the 3 as well.
Yeah.
But 46 from the field all around, 10 points a game. 6 rebounds a game in 20 minutes. That's pretty good. We could use that.
He's a rookie, right?
No, he's been in the league for 3 years?
Okay.
He was with Phoenix prior to coming over to Indiana.
In the matter of fact, him and Obi got drafted the same draft, didn't he? That's the same draft. 2000.
So he's going to be up for an extension then soon as well.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. Ashley Inc. 1 said Obi and Cam for Kuzma. I don't think they would accept that.
We'll have to give them picks.
Yeah, we probably have to add picks. Kuzma's having a breakout season. And then I read somewhere where Washington wasn't even that high on moving him, that they see him as part of the core. But,
if we did do that, though.
If they took, if
cooking
they
with gas a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. That's pretty good. Slide him right at the 3. I'll start him right at the 3. He fits pretty well with this team. if you look at him play.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just if will Tibbs agree with his style of play? My point of view, because he has a free game. You know, he makes mistakes. And one mistake, bench for a second, I believe. But I would definitely, I can see it definitely happen. But mainly for him at the 4, he excelled a lot at the 4.
That's what I was thinking.
That's true too.
And you know, and what would our defense be with RJ at the 2 and Kuzma at the 3? I don't really see Kuzma as a great defensive player unless I'm missing something.
No, he's not. He's average at best to me.
He's average. Okay.
Yeah, average.
You know, for me, I'm thinking at that small forward, power forward spot, you know, you go get you a veteran, maybe a Jay Crowder type player, someone that's grit defense that can space the floor, who don't need the ball. We don't need someone that can, have the ball in his hand. So just Jay Crowder would be phenomenal for me. But I don't know what Phoenix really want from him. He's home relaxing. So if we could get a second round from him, then, you know, pull that trigger. Or if we could give them Cam. We're not utilizing Cam. Why wouldn't they want Cam?
Right. 96 Till, appreciate you for rocking with us this evening. Obi probably gets you a Oubre level player at this
Kelly
at this
better
point.
than him. Kelly Oubre way better than Obi at this point. Like we'll have to still give them a pick for that.
Yeah, wow. And he's hurt now. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
DJ Space Code, can Kuzma play Tibbs defense? That's the question.
Right.
I just feel like at this point, you know, this is Tibbs' last stand. Give him his players.
Yeah.
Just give him his type of players. You know, if you don't do it with your type of players, then, you know, that's it. Don't bring in players that can shoot, can't defend, can't shoot. We have those already. We do.
Yeah,
you know, Sims and McBride, bless their hearts, but you know,
Right.
you're not going to get a lot of offense, you know, out of them. Fournier, you're not going to, you know, he can shoot. You're not going to get defense, you know, out of him as much as he tries, you know. So I think at this point we need, you know, we need two-way players. And yes, Oubre is having surgery. Tobias Harris. I like Tobias Harris though. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan. I like him. I just feel like he plays the same position as Randle.
Yep. Like that's somebody that, you know, like Kuzma would be switching to the 3. I don't want Tobias Harris playing the 3 when he come here, and he can't come off the bench. I don't see that. So I don't see that trade happening.
I hope Tony's not watching. Shout out to Tony Crow, Knicks and Bruises. Everybody we talked about, he said they could come off the bench.
Why would they? Yeah, I don't see that.
So with the Tobias Harris situation, right now he's currently playing the power forward or the small forward for Phil. I think it's the power, right?
Right.
With Thibault playing the kind of small forward.
Small, yeah.
So when I watch Philly games, they kind of interchange when you really think about it. You know, they guard some of the best players. So for us, we're really thinking about guarding. The offense will play itself out. Why? Because he can post up. I mean, he can post up.
Yes,
he can shoot. He can space the floor. So with Tibbs is like, can you play D? Can you knock down that shot? Like we stated, you know, and he's one of the players that, you know, knock all the checks, Queen, that we said, you know, Tibbs guy. Yeah. So Trav, you got a point, Trav.
Yeah. Now, Keyshawn, I would do this tomorrow. I'd get yesterday. Yeah, I'd give Raptors 28 and 2 second-round picks for OG. Now we're going to talk about trade rumors later on, but I read somewhere, and these are just people writing. Who knows? You know, they're not plugged into the Toronto front office, but they felt that it would take a young player and 2 first-round picks,
right,
for OG Anunoby. And so since it came up, you know, let's talk about it. We can move around. We flexible. I've been doing my stretches in the morning.
Yep. I would definitely take OG.
Would you give up if it took a young player and 2 first-round picks for OG Anunoby, would you do that now? He does have an injury history, you know. And some players, and this is the thing, some players cross that line and the injuries, that's the end of it. You don't really,
You willing to risk that though?
are you
For
willing
like,
to risk it?
yeah,
Are you
are you
willing
willing
to risk it? Right.
for
He
like
may never get injured
3,
again, and he may
right?
continue to get injured.
Because it might take 3 first-round picks, not 2, to get OG. So that's
Jeffrey
that's
Clapton
tough,
said you thought dealing with Ainge was bad.
right? Yeah, they're not gonna give him up like that. Like,
Right, you got a Masai Ujiri who got all that package from Melo. So you think he's gonna settle for anything less?
Well, I'm just saying, would you give up 2 firsts
Oh,
and a young player for OG
yeah.
Anunoby?
And our draft picks, you give them the ones they're the unprotected picks. I mean, not unprotected. The Milwaukee picks that we have, and all the other team picks that we have. Hopefully, I can get it done.
all the stuff we don't want,
All
right?
the stuff that we don't want. Right.
Nah, I think. Listen, we have 11 of them. 3 of them are unprotected. Excuse me, 3 of them are protected. 1 lightly protected. That Milwaukee is just top 5 protected, right?
Right.
I don't know if you're gonna get it done with protected picks, though. Yeah, I don't think so.
True. You got to try. You got to slide it out there.
Oh, of course, of course. Now Jeffrey says OG doesn't move the needle for us. I think he does.
Defensively, he definitely does.
I think he moves the needle for us defense. He's a two-way player. Other than Grimes, how many two-way players do we have on this roster?
Quickly,
yes. Quickly, yes. Quickly, yes.
Randle.
When he
wants to, Randle.
Right. He has the potential to be.
Right.
We saw that last night, right?
Right.
But we don't have a lot of two-way players on this team. A two-way player who's right now averaging 18 points on a stacked offensive team. They got Siakam out there. They got Van Vliet out there. They got Gary Trent Jr. on that team. Now, Scotty Barnes is not a scorer, just yet. But he, that's not a anemic offense. And he's still averaging, I believe, 17, 18 points a game. But I agree with you. That injury,
I think it moves the needle for us in a great spot because you are able to put Grimes on the bench. Now your bench production goes up. Now you have someone that that can defend on the bench, and your first unit does not skip a beat, and it gets better. That's moving the needle because our bench production it's an issue right now. So.
You're absolutely right. The starting unit doesn't miss a beat, and so now quickly can go back to the second unit. Grimes, if he's not in the trade, we'll go back to the second. We'll go back. To the check-in, the second unit. But I think you could do both. Like I don't think. I would like to trade for a Star Almighty Finesse Salute, but I don't think giving up if this is actually right. I don't think giving up 2 first-round draft picks takes us out of the running for a star.
No,
it doesn't.
No, we still got 9 more.
We still got 9 more. 8 of them are first round unprotected. So even if you use 2 unprotected, you still have 6 unprotected left and 3 protected. And one of those, that Milwaukee, that's a nice lightly protected pick. So we all do. I think the idea of OG is better than the reality. He has stretches where he's invisible. Listen, we got players on this team who have stretches in which they're invisible. But defensively, he's going to be there 100% of the time. right? He's going to be there 100% of the time. Now, from what I understand, because I was like, why would they even, do that? They're struggling. They're not playing well. They're thinking that they may look to trade off, they may look to trade off some pieces. And OG might be one of them. We shall see.
That's a big get, though. If we can get OG with that starting five, Brunson, RJ, OG, Randle, and Mitch, that's a solid starting five. That is definitely a playoff making starting five. It just depends on what we'll have left after the trade.
Right. Deep Public Enemy number 1 is not a fan. All this OG talk sounds just as bad as Lonzo Ball talk, trade talk a season ago. Both injury-prone players.
Got a point.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with it, but I'm with Keith Turner. He's the full package.
And I was one of those people that actually wanted Lonzo Ball. Like, I like his game, but he is definitely injury prone.
I agree too. Ball was a good take, but let's kind of switch it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis, very injury prone. LA took a chance of it and got 1 championship. So you tell me if we could take a chance and at least get 1 championship with OG, not to say that's the same caliber of players, but you're still talking about a major injury prone player. You take that.
He ain't as bad as Street Clothes, though. That's a whole other level.
He got a whole nickname over there. And I'm saying, OG ain't got no nicknames like that. Not yet. He ain't that bad.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Almighty Finesse, I think this is a bit too much. RJ, IQ, Obi, and 2 firsts. That's a lot.
Not for OG. OG ain't he hasn't made an all-star team yet, so I'm not giving him that.
Yeah, that's enough. All right.
For that trade, you better throw in the head coach. You better give me the head coach then.
Right. Please, Nick Nurse might be in the heck on the hot seat. This is what I've learned about NBA coaching. If you win, you keep your job, and if you start losing, it's time for you to go. Yeah. That's just how it is. Yeah. You could talk about this one is a good one, this one is a bad. Look at Nate McMillan. He went to the NBA Finals. Oh, let's give him a contract extension. 1 season later, they're struggling. Oh, he needs to go. He can't coach. We need a new coach.
Yeah, you got to produce.
Basically, you have to produce. Or whether you're a good coach or not, you're going to be out. Unless you're a Spoelstra or a Pop, right? Who just really have it in with their...
Yeah, that's relationship-based.
That's relationship-based. Yeah.
Right.
I don't... How is that a lot? RJ, IQ, and Obi are all garbage. How can you say? How can you say RJ is garbage? He's not a star. I get it, and I know there are some Knicks fans super disappointed that he hasn't turned into this star. But garbage? No.
No, I wouldn't label RJ garbage. Yes, our expectations was RJ was skyrocket, number 3 pick, out of Duke. He was at a point in time the number 1 ranked high school player, heading into college. So yes, we expected a lot. And his inability to create. But you got to understand, he is even surprising me with the way he gets to the line, gets buckets. He's knocking his free throws down this year as well. The jump shot wasn't dropping as much, but it's coming along. So his game, just like Julius, is evolving around us. And he's a homegrown player, so we got to support RJ while he's here.
Yeah. I agree. I think that if he's 17 to 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's finishing at the rim and he's hitting his 3-point shot, and hitting his free throws, I'm happy. Now, if he can start creating his shot, now that's a whole other story. But, if he just keeps doing what he's doing at a higher level,
right?
I'm okay with that. This is the thing, though. He was injured. He was playing well prior to the injury. When he comes back, does he need to rev up again?
Like an old car.
100%. 100%.
You know, is he going to struggle a little bit until he gets his groove again? You know,
I'm thinking maybe that's why he's taking so long. You got to think about he sliced his shooting hand, right?
No, it's his offhand at that.
Oh, it's his left
It's not
hand?
even a shooting hand. Yes.
Oh,
It's his I believe it's the right hand.
right. I thought it was his left. Okay. Well, yeah, that means what's taking so long then? What kind of slice was this?
And it's funny. I was talking with a friend of
What
mine the
Luka
other
hands
day.
made out of, bro?
right.
What I was saying is when we were young, we would slice open the hand,
Right.
put some alcohol on it, and we back on the court the next day. So it's like, oh man, what's going on with these NBA players?
I was like a laceration. Laceration. So
You
I
missing
was
a whole
expecting
week
they was gonna tape it, tape it back, and he would be back on the offhand too.
Oh, you thought he was coming back that
I
game?
thought he was coming back.
It's been a week. He thought he was coming back that night.
They was gonna go in the back, and they was gonna tape it up, and he would be back ready to play.
It must have been big. I didn't see what it looked like, to be honest. So I don't know where it's at. I don't know how many stitches. I'm guessing he needed stitches. So I don't know how bad it is, to be honest. I didn't see pictures of it. I don't know if anybody did.
MSG gonna keep that under wraps. They
should. But...
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the offense a little bit, and it's basically the beginning of the season. The Knicks were moving the ball and moving their bodies. Since then, it's becoming less ball movement, less body movement, but the offense is still just as good. It's operating differently. How much of that is due to the injuries, right? Brunson was out. RJ was out for a few games that overlapped. Both of them were out. Now, RJ is out. Your bench is limping. So how much is the change in what we're seeing in terms of the ball movement is due to the injuries and just being out of sync, and how much of it is Brunson and Randle really coming into their own? And salute, Ajay. How are you?
Salute, guys. Sorry, no video tonight.
That's okay.
But yeah, I've been listening. I'm good. Salute to the panel, the Knicks Nation. Queen, I came in like maybe 15 minutes ago, and I see you've been live for 40 something minutes. You didn't talk about my All-Star issue yet, did you?
No.
Okay. All right.
That's on it. I had already I have the graphic as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So and I'm gonna jump right in on this. I just think Brunson and Randle, the chemistry is just developing. A lot of people complain about lack of ball, like the ball move less. You know what I say to this? If you have a favorable matchup, like let's say you got an advantage on a one-on-one, I throw the ball down to Randle every time because he's scoring every time you give him the ball. So if it works, why not just give it to him? Same thing with Brunson. I mean, yeah, he's a point guard. You expect him to dish a lot, then he tries to swish. But if he's scoring, why not? Why not? The coach he's calling plays for Julius Randle. Give him the ball because it's working. And sometimes if it doesn't work, move the ball. But if it's working, I just go right back to the same thing.
Yeah. In the beginning of the season, one of my complaints when they weren't moving the ball as much, I was like, we don't have that type of team where we got players that can just score on their own. We need to move the ball and move the bat. Now I'm like, well, Randle is doing it. Brunson is doing it. The only so to your point, Ajay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get that. But one of the things I will say though is the defense doesn't have to work as hard. Like it's easier to defend when they don't have to rotate.
Yep.
Right. They know Randle has the ball. You just got to, stand next to your person. If he drives, then you'll have to rotate, and but it's not the constant, movement that would happen when you're moving the ball and moving your body.
But
then the other thing is, those guys will pass the ball. They're not selfish, by any stretch. If they're double teamed, they're gonna find the open guy. But the other guys just don't get touches in the offense. The only touches they get is off of those guys when they're driving, right? So that in the beginning, when we were moving the ball and moving the body, there was an opportunity for them to initiate offense, to drive and do things when it did get to them. That that's it.
Well, one thing I want to throw a quick one in there before one of the other panel members go.
Mm-hmm.
The ball's not moving, but it's very important that the other three guys move. You see Quentin Grimes, he moves very well without the ball. He's always slashing. He's always in the right place. When somebody's stuck with the ball, he's always right there. You know what I'm saying? So, IQ and the other guys, they need to keep moving, because that keeps the defense honest also. As opposed to Julius has the ball and everybody else standing around and waiting for Julius to do something. Everybody else is moving.
Right.
So, it's just as effective, I think. So he has the ball, he can score, but he still has that option of passing, of dishing it if somebody else is moving, gets himself in position to score or to make a positive play on the ball. So,
okay. Jerrell, Ray, any thoughts on it?
Yeah. So in the beginning of the season, don't forget we were playing the entire roster. So it kind of wasn't a new team, but you added in Jalen Brunson, your new general. So these guys were moving the ball a lot earlier in the season. Then of course we started to get a stretch where players was getting hurt. We started juggling players. So the offense and everything like that was kind of stagnant. People trying to adjust with each other. So that's why that offense was kind of looking shaky. Then, of course, we went to let's solidify a solid 9-man rotation and kind of utilize the JB and utilize Randle a lot more. So that's why our offense, it's looking different now than the beginning of the season, because, Obi quick, they was playing their solid numbers. They was running with the second unit. Brunson and RJ was kind of getting it going. So that's why the offense is like all over the place at the beginning. Now we're kind of set on a solid thing. But once RJ come back in, we'll see how the offense look now, because Randle was on fire. Will that fire cool off? Because remember, Randle was only putting up the first month 18. He was averaging 18 points per game. It was Brunson and RJ that was giving us the main stats.
Right.
So now the last couple months has been Randle. So what's going to happen? So I see it's going to be a change in offense again.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the offense looks the way it does because players have been out.
Yeah.
Once RJ comes back, Quick goes back to the second unit, we'll get back to the ball movement.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty much going to say the same thing. Pretty much echo exactly what he was saying. I don't know. And plus, it's kind of hard to complain when it's working. Just like it's hard to complain when you're winning. Like a lot of times when we be winning, Steph, me and you come up here and critique people, and people kill us because we're winning. During the 8-game win streak, really couldn't say anything bad about the Knicks. So now that our offense seemed like is not doing well off the bench, but our starters, just because Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are killing so much, our offense really isn't that bad. We're in the top half of the league, I think. So I don't know. So I think it'll change when RJ gets back, because it's RJ.
Right. Yeah. Let me get to some of the comments. Nick Yak, appreciate you. No ball movement is on Tibbs. How about just one off-ball screen?
I would love that so much. Grimes, they did it one time with Grimes. Julius Randle actually hit him in stride, and Grimes caught a mid-range. That was beautiful, and they didn't do it again for the rest of the game. It was in the first quarter. I forgot what game it was. They did it one time and didn't go back to it. So they don't do that, just like they don't have Evan Fournier running off screens. That's not his offense.
Right.
That's not Tibbs' offense.
Right.
And it's weird because how did he utilize Ben Gordon? How did he utilize Kyle Korver? In Chicago, they that's all they did was come
Especially
on double
Korver.
screens, single screens, like Iverson cuts come through, and I'm like floppy. That's what they ran. So I'm like, that's why I was like, oh man, Tibbs, what's going on? Like, are you trying to? My thing is, do he see the Knicks are not capable of having multiple sets? Like, can I implement a 30-40, concept offense? So that it's, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So maybe he keep it simple so where they can master that, and then you add on additionally, because each year you see he adds on additional stuff, but it's not drastic.
Right. A little wrinkle.
That's why it bothers me so much when people, well, not with people, we talking about like Quentin Grimes ball handling, his playmaking and stuff. Quentin Grimes is good enough of a scorer that he shouldn't have to have the ball in his hands in order to score. You know what I'm saying? He should be running off screens like he always is in constant motion. So just run him off screens all day and give him the ball. Like, he shouldn't even have the ball in his hands to dribble that much. Not saying that he's Klay Thompson, because a lot of people compare him to Klay Thompson anyway.
But he can be.
but he can be. But like if you watch Klay Thompson, he doesn't dribble the ball that much. He is very, very effective on offense. Grimes can be that type of player. He does. Evan Fournier too. Evan Fournier shouldn't be handling the ball that much. He should be catching it and shooting it. That's his, bread and butter. He's been like that before.
Jerrell, especially with Grimes. Grimes got a quick trigger, so he really, he does. He's catch and shoot, and he really should be doing that a lot.
Right. Why not pass it to Grimes once in a while? He's our best shooter in the starting lineup, and he's more than just a spot-up shooter. I just want to pipe down with the best shooter. I mean,
it looked pretty.
It looks pretty, but what are the percentages? We said the same thing about Quickly for like 2 seasons before we finally realized that it's more. It has to go down. It can't just look good. It has to actually go down. So I think Grimes is a bit inconsistent. I think he's been doing better over the past, the past few games. But they do pass it to him. I mean, you look at how many shots Grimes takes in a game. It's not like and let me tell you, he don't waste no time putting it up. He doesn't waste any time putting up those shots when they come his way. And I think he probably could take a few more. He may pass up a few, but trust me, he puts it up. So I don't know if he's our best shooter, but this is what you're going to have when you have 3 players. RJ's out right now, who play best with the ball in their hands. They play better. You're going to get the best out of Brunson when the ball is in his hands. You're going to get the best out of Randle when the ball is in his hands. So now we're passing it around and it's looking pretty, and more people are getting involved. But is Brunson playing his best basketball?
Right.
In that type of setup? Is Randle playing his best basketball in that type of setup? In that type of offense?
I think it can work because Tibbs, he did something good sometimes. So as you can see, before Brunson and Randle will sit first, and RJ stayed with that second unit longer. And that second unit got it running. So we would keep the leads with that. So then when you bring in Brunson and Randle back, we're like, okay, cool. Let's get that going. RJ can rest. So you can do slots like that where it worked. So that's why, yes, to a certain extent they can, depending on how RJ got it going that night.
Right. And, to RJ's credit, part of it is he doesn't create shots anyway. So I don't know if it's to his credit or that's just his game. He doesn't, he doesn't create shot. He kind of plays off of those two, and he's been doing a good job of them, of that. Jeffrey Clafter, I agree with you, which is why Mitch and Grimes make sense, and this is why if we bring in anybody, we'll talk some more trades as well. we need two-way players that can defend and shoot. I don't know if we need somebody else. I know we've talked about DeMar DeRozan a few times, that's come up a few times, but he's just somebody else who needs the ball in his hand to be effective.
Yeah, nah.
Right.
That would so disrupt the chemistry of the team right now. It's just I don't think that'll work. I don't think it would work.
I'm about to say, if we get him, I ain't mad though.
I mean, if we get him, I'm not mad. We'll have to figure it out. But what's going to happen is somebody is not going to be playing their best. It's like somebody is going to have to bring their,
You're going to lose some production out of either Brunson or Randle or both.
Or RJ.
No, RJ.
Or RJ.
Yeah, I think the production will be lower for RJ.
I'm guessing if we get DeRozan, probably RJ.
Yeah, RJ's gone if we get DeRozan.
That's why I didn't mention him.
Oh, well, then we'll be fine.
Oh, then we'll be fine then.
You're just trading one of them out for another one. But I've heard scenarios where they were talking about keeping all three plus DeRozan. I'm like, I don't really see
who they giving up to. Why would Chicago do it? Why would they?
Right. Why would Chicago? Our young guys, if it's going to be hard to keep those three and think you're going to get a major upgrade with just our young guys, unless you're talking about Quickly and Grimes, and then who else? And draft
Obi.
picks. And Obi. I don't know if that gets you DeRozan, though. Maybe
Quickly, Grimes, and Obi?
Maybe.
I feel that would be too much for DeRozan.
Quickly, Grimes.
That would be too much for DeRozan.
No, you got to throw Fournier in there.
DeRozan's got two good years in him left, man.
That's all we might need, though.
Yeah, no, come on, man. We're not. Come on, Jerrell. We're not getting the chip in 2 years with DeRozan. Come on, man.
Hey, we didn't think Toronto was going to win a chip that year, and they pulled it out.
Yeah, but look who they added, though.
Yeah,
they added the claw.
Yeah, they added somebody.
Yeah. NY2FL podcast says JB is already a 2-point assassin. We don't need two. I read somewhere that he was I know he was was it seventh in the league in clutch points, shooting 48% in those situations.
Wow.
So which is why I don't get mad when he dials his own number
at all,
because more often than not,
it works.
Yeah,
you can't have it all. You cannot win them all.
Right?
Yeah.
I want the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter. Like in clutch time, I would rather have the ball in his hand than Randle, and that's saying something because I don't mind Randle having the ball either, but Brunson's just better at it.
Yeah, in my opinion too. Let's just really quick in terms of our offense. Now, the 4 games without RJ, Keith Turner, I don't know if you're still with us, but our offensive rating has gone down, right? Overall, we're still 10th, right? The new lineup to 23 games is when we inserted Grimes in the starting lineup. I think that was November 20th, right? So we've been 3rd since then, 116.5. The 8-game win streak, our offensive rating was 4. The 5-game losing streak, we were still 6th in offensive rating. But the 4 games without RJ, we're 18. Right? And points were 26. Our pace has slowed down, except for the 8-game win streak. I don't know if that's right. That's not right. That's not right. It's not 5th at 97.73. It may be 25th. But look at our bench scoring. 25th for the season.
Oh yeah.
And the last 4 games without RJ, 30th, right? Because now we had to move quick into the starting, into the starting lineup. So we had a lineup out there. We had McBride, IQ, Fournier, Sims, and Ihart. And I was like, wow.
That's ugly.
I know, but it just brought back memories of early in the season where, We actually had 5 people in the second unit who wasn't starters, though Quickly was starting. But the offense is doing well overall, struggling a little bit, without RJ, but the bench. We're not getting a lot from the bench. And if you look at the assists, and that's the thing with the offense, what we're talking about, a lot of the shots are not assisted. Our assist percentage is low as well. Our assist ratio is in the bottom 5 in the league as well. And even with that, we have a top 10 offense. So I'm not sure. Let's see, if you, Jerrell, and Ray are right that when RJ gets back and Quickly goes back to the, the second unit, we'll start seeing that ball movement again. To me, I don't care whether it's pretty or not. I watched the Knicks in the 90s. It was not pretty.
Oh yeah.
At all. And offensively, it was so bad that if we were down 8 in the third quarter, I was wondering how we was getting back in the game. I was like, how are we getting back in the game?
That's funny. Not in the third.
In the third,
that is.
It's
Oh
like-
my god, that's funny.
That's not even double digits. Like,
I'm dying here because I've watched games like that where it's like the fourth quarter, we down by like 5. I'm like, oh my god, we got
right, and
It's
or and that was more like it. In the fourth quarter, like 5-6 minutes left, we're down 5.
Like,
For an anemic Knick team in the 90s, that was like 12. Right? It was like or 14. Like, how are we, how are we gonna score? So, so for us, it's not about whether it's pretty or not. It's about whether it's effective. It is about making the defense work. And I'm all for moving the ball and moving our bodies. However, I still want our best players to take most of the shots.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, even though we're moving the ball and moving our bodies, I don't want it to be an equal opportunity offense. Where Quickly is taking as many shots as Randle, and I don't know, Grimes is taking as many shots as RJ. That I don't want. Move it around, definitely. I think it's easier. I just think it's easier basketball when you move it around. But at the end of the day, your horses have to score for you, for sure. Jeffrey Clapton, but they can get stops. They could get stops, but they needed just a little bit more offense, just a little.
Yeah.
It was like our team 2 years ago. Where we were 4th in defense, but we could not generate consistent offense with that team.
Well, and it looked like we're going back to that similar offense as well, as feed Randle on the wing and let Randle create for the most part. And then same with Brunson, give Brunson the ball at the top of the key, let him operate. So that's what I'm saying. Once we get Obi back, I think, because remember, Quick was getting a lot of those starter minutes. And honestly, our bench is Quick and Obi. And Grimes was on the bench, and he would contribute to 8 or 10 at that time period. So once we're balanced again, we should be okay. We definitely won't be bottom tier. We'll be mids. Not saying we're going back to averaging 40 points on the bench. Definitely not. But
right.
As long as we playing defense, that's just it. Once we slow the tempo down, that was the best thing that Tibbs ever did this season, was slow the tempo down, let us grind it out. And then on offense, let's do our thing. So we're good.
Yeah. And David, I'm not saying that I want us to be the 90s Knicks. I'm just saying I'm not focused on pretty. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe we should. Lakers want to continue with the Showtime and having their LeBron as the Magic. So maybe we need to go and get Embiid, turn him into Ewing. Go get Draymond Green, turn him to Oak. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah, just maybe. All right.
I'll take both of them.
Okay.
I'll take both of them.
Most teams wish they had one guy they could go to get buckets. We have two, and I think that's another way to play as well. Move your ball, move your body, but late crunch time,
Right.
you got to go to But they'll work it out. Listen, Boston had to work it out, right? This was the same thing that was going on with Tatum and Jalen Brown, and last year Marcus Smart called them out. And I'm not saying these two guys are anywhere near their caliber player, but I'm just saying they played similarly.
Right.
You
we have two people that could get a bucket, but when RJ is playing well, that's not a bad third option to have.
Right. We also used to have 5 bench players. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Hopefully. All right. Anything else on our, offense? The consensus is if it's not broke, don't fix it. And we'll get back to ball movement when we're at full strength. Right now, we're not. There was a time when Randle was by himself, basically with whatever help he can get from Grimes or quickly on any given night. All right, let's talk about the All-Star. The first returns. All right. Listen, I don't expect, there's an echo. I'm coming through somebody's mic. I don't expect Randle and Brunson to be voted. Well, initially I said, I don't really expect them to be voted in by the fans. They'll probably be voted in by the coaches. Then the first returns actually came out. The first fan returns. This is all the fans. And in the Western Conference, you see street clothes, Anthony Davis, who hasn't even played. You see Draymond Green, 8th.
Right.
You see Kevin Looney, 10th. And then in the guards, you see Russell Westbrook, 6th. Austin Reeves from the Lakers, 9th. And then in the Eastern Conference, Nick Claxton is 9th. This is about the fan base. The Knicks have a huge fan base.
Right.
If Nick Claxton can get in at 9th, Brooklyn just moved here 2 months ago from Jersey.
Right.
And they have a fan base that's voting enough for Nick Claxton to get 9th. Julius Randle and Brunson. This is the fan returns.
So
yeah, that's disrespectful.
What Jerrell is disrespectful, but not. We're disrespecting ourselves as fans because for all the smoke we blow here, for all the junk we talk, like for everything. So we have a fan base that really dislike the team, and this is the little bit we could do to support them. Are you kidding me? Nick Claxton. So that means Brooklyn Nets fans are more supportive of their team than we are of our team. That's horrible. And Julius Randle is playing lights out right now. I mean, Nick Claxton couldn't even shine his shoes right now. But then he's in there, number 9, and Julius Randle could make the top 10. That's insane. Like, Knicks fans, we really should be ashamed of ourselves.
My thing, I don't even care about the names. It's the number of votes.
Yeah, so
it's not even about the names. Like
we can get 120,000 guys in.
Right, 121,000. That can't be. Seems like that's wrong. Like not with the fan base that we have, the millions of people that are Knicks fans. It's kind of weird. It doesn't really make sense.
And then
numbers look doctored, Steph. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
And then we're quick to say how nobody want to come here because of the media, because of James Dolan. Nah, they don't want to come here because of the fans. Because if we can't get 130,000 votes to get Julius Randle there in the top 10, something's wrong with this fan base.
Right. Claxton is nobody is saying Claxton is not having a good season.
He's not,
but he is having a good season. But his fan base is rallying around him and voting for him for the All-Star team. So where is the rallying for Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. And this is what I don't understand about like everybody's taking it so personal. Like somebody says, oh, we have 3 ball stoppers, so they can't go to the All-Star team because they ball stoppers.
Right. Now when you got like Kyle Kuzma in 7th, stop it. Like, that's not.
And Derrick Rose in
right.
9th, and I'm sure that's the Chicago fans.
100%.
It would have to be
100%. The real question is, I'm gonna bring it to the chat, right? So since the All-Star voting has been out, I voted every day because you only could vote once per day.
Right.
Mhm.
How many in the chat literally voted for our team? You know, because that's what it ultimately boils down to. Like you guys stated, are we voting? We want our guys in here. Are we voting daily?
No, but the thing is, they want to trade Julius Randle. They want him out of here. This guy is playing like he's playing at an all-star level, and they want to get rid of him.
But C-Mac, why can't you vote for Julius Randle? That's what I'm trying to say. People are holding on to old stuff.
But then even if they want to trade him, wouldn't you trading a all-star sound so much better?
Yeah.
If you want to trade Julius,
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let's let them know. If we vote him into the All-Star, that'll make him more appealing to other teams. So vote for him. That way he'll be out of here faster, guys. If you hate him that much.
I just don't understand how you can't vote for somebody on your own team who's playing well. Like to me, it's like you're making it mad personal. Right. It's just not that deep.
It's like unbelievable.
It's just not that deep for any basketball player that they're playing well, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to comprehend.
Right.
That like that's mad personal. You know, like what did you do to me? You know.
Yeah, hold the votes out of spite. Yeah.
I get it that you want him out of here, but I just don't. It is personal, but why is it personal? What do you have personal with a basketball player that you don't even know? Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He definitely did disrespect us. You know, he's supposed to represent us. You know, on that court, he booed us. He showed us what he can do. Then the previous year, he got the bag, and you can tell he didn't put in the work in the gym. So certain people could take that personally. You know, there's Knicks fans out there that are way more diehard than us. So maybe that could be his take on that.
Listen, I don't think it's that Julius Randle didn't work in the off season. I don't think it has anything to do with him not putting in work in the off season, and has a lot to do with him just not being able to deal with the pressure that came with coming off a 4th seed. And he did not handle it well at all. No. And I'm a Randle supporter, but I call it as I see it. You know, he didn't play well last season.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I'm not. So okay, so you gave me. We the most sensitive fans. We can dish it out, but we can't take it now. So he gave us a thumb down. Now everybody's all in their feelings now, right? So now he turns it around. He's playing well. The Knicks right now are 2 or 3 games over 500.
Yeah.
But he can't get my All-Star vote because last season,
right,
he didn't play well, and last season he gave the fans the thumbs down. I don't know. I don't get it. But
if you could post what Allo-wise, he's saying just what you said, but with a little bit more forceful.
Oh, I didn't. I must have.
Hold on. Maybe.
You see it? Okay, good. Randle will be a second-time All-Star regardless if the fans like it or not.
I agree.
He's making all NBA. He's making all NBA team. Randle, whether y'all like it or not.
That might be a tough one.
Randle stole my lunch in grade school. I hate him.
Oh, Steph, I start.
You did?
Joint.
Okay.
If you want to put it up.
That is so true.
New York fans talk bad about you, but don't got your back when you're going hard, but be mad when a player give you a thumbs down. Right. when they don't play, when he doesn't play well, oh man, he's not, he didn't help Obi Toppin tie his shoe. He didn't do this, he didn't do. Then when he going hard, yeah, all right, well,
yeah, when he going hard,
supposed to do.
Yeah, he going hard, you can't give him an all-star vote. I'm mad about that, Queen.
I just think it goes both ways. Call it as you see it.
I get mad for it.
I'm taking it personal.
He mad that somebody else mad at you.
Right. I just feel like call it how you see it.
Right. Exactly.
When he's playing terrible, he's playing like trash. It is what it is. Call it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no defense for that.
Yeah.
I do.
But when he's playing better, what can you say?
Yeah.
Give him his flowers.
Do you know how much bad stuff I done said about Julius Randle on this very show?
Right.
Since the off season? I ain't said nothing bad about this man all season there because he's playing well.
Right.
Like he shut me up. Like I'm good. As long as he plays well and we win games because of it, what I'm gonna say? I'm a Knicks fan. Like his job is to win us games, and he's been doing that.
Right. I saw that man choking every close game and the play. Oh, listen. This is not about his entire career.
Right.
The All-Star game is about how he's playing up to this point. It's not about the close games. It's not about the play. It's about how he's playing up to this point. And we're talking about Randle, but Brunson either. When you look at the guards, Derrick Rose, the Chicago fan base voted Derrick Rose in, and he hasn't played in Chicago, and I can't tell you how many years.
Yep.
And they didn't vote exactly.
Every year he ends up in this voting. Every year.
Right.
Every year.
We're gonna try to get out of his back.
We want to trade for Zach LaVine, and they didn't even vote for him.
Right. But this fan base didn't get enough votes for Brunson to be in the top 10. LaMelo Ball didn't even play most of the season.
And the way our fan base talked about point guards and how bad we wanted one, not voting for Brunson really doesn't make sense. Like, people should be head over heels over Brunson's play right now compared to how we been in the past. 10? When did Marbury play? Because he's probably the best point guard we've had since him.
Dude, Marbury was like 2003.
Yeah, it's 2023. We haven't had a point guard since then. So,
and I'm not saying you gotta like him.
Vote for him.
I'm not saying you have to like Randle. You don't have to like him. But I'm just saying, give people their due. That's all. You don't have to like him as a person, but give him his due.
Yeah, Knicks fans not voting for point guards. It's a weird thing.
Right. Not even Brunson. I mean,
yeah, like
LaMelo Ball was 7th in fan voting. This is fan voting. Remember, the first 5 players are voted, the starters are voted in by the fans. Then the coaches, I think the coaches, the media, and I think players get the vote as well, if I'm not mistaken, for the rest.
Queen, I think the fan vote counts for 50%. Somehow it's just 50% of the qualification.
We got so many fans
for everybody, or just
for everybody. So the coaches, I believe the coaches pick the reserves.
Okay.
But then even the what the fans vote is count for 50%.
Of the starters. It's not 100% anymore. Okay, got you.
And then the media, the players, I don't know however.
Got you. I got you.
I
remember hearing something like that.
We have so many fans. IQ should be on this list, and he don't even deserve it.
And they like him.
Right, true.
Right. I mean, this is not even about who deserves to be on it. This is who the fans want to see.
Austin Reeves is on the list.
Where's Grimes? We love Grimes. Why isn't Grimes on there?
Yeah, some of it is weird.
Maybe.
Yeah. Austin Reeves for the Lakers, 144,000 votes, 9th in guards.
And for all you Mitch fans, why isn't he on this list?
Right. Oh, Mitch does so much intangibles. You got to look close, but he does a lot of intangibles. Kevin Looney.
Easy.
Right.
I vote for Mitch every day.
Yeah.
That's what's up. You need to vote for him 100,000 more times because for some
Right.
reason the fan base is not voting for him. It's weird, man. We got too many people for us not to have people on this.
My vote every day is 5 Knicks players.
Right.
Right.
So
Even if you don't like, I'm sorry, Steph. I mean,
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Kevin Looney had 249,
right.
246, almost 247,000 votes.
Right. It's like these numbers are weird for what the fan base, how we talk about these players. It's more than 100,000 people in Twitter Spaces daily talking about players, let alone voting for the All-Star game. Like they should easily get over 100,000 votes. We got like 50 million people in this.
I don't even know what I think. Let me see if I can Google how many votes they actually did get.
Right, that don't make any sense. Like that's weird. Like those numbers are weird. The low ones are. With how many people that we have rooting for our team.
You know what could have happened? We Knicks fans could have voted our whole starting 5. Over 1 million. In the NBA, it's like, we can't have that. We can't have that.
They need to take Austin Reeves off then.
These are the headings. This is what the Mercury News breaking down Knicks' chances of an All-Star appearance after fans snub Brunson and Randle.
Wow.
And the Daily Knicks fans should be very ashamed about current 2023 NBA All-Star because we're a big fan base.
Right.
We are a huge fan base. We can put anybody we want in there. Right. I mean, they only get 50% of the votes now. And I think that's why they did that. Because fan bases was just,
right,
voting and getting players in the start. Like, you're like, this guy is starting?
But Queen, we're a huge fan base, but we're a weird fan. We're strange because we're look at the chat. A lot of these guys, they really hate our players. I mean, these guys are 2-3 games over 500 to start the year, and it's like, so what? The Knicks win a game. You know what they say? Another bum team, missing their star player. That was no big deal, but it was a win. I don't know.
Somebody said Randle did nothing in the All-Star game. Wow.
He made it. That's the point of the All-Star game. You got just to make it there.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I was looking to see if. Yeah, I don't see anywhere where you could see how many votes they did get.
Now, question: you think our record would play a role with the coaches bringing them in on the reserve?
I think so.
Usually it does. Usually it should, and it does. Like
if we're down at the 12th spot, nobody's going. And everybody All-Star time.
And they should be going.
Man, so if we continue being at the 6th and 5th spot, you think either one should make it in that reserve spot? Or if the guys continue with their production, we should have one.
I think we should have, if we're in the 6th seed as we're nearing the coaches voting, I think we'll get one.
Okay.
If for some reason we happen to get in the 5th seed, we might get 2. But I think we would need to get in, above 6 to get 2. I think if we're around the 6, I think we'll get 1. I think if we've slipped by then and we're in like the 8th or the 9th, I don't think either one of them would get in.
Yeah. You could tell coaches around the league respect both Brunson and Julius Randle. Especially Brunson. The way they be playing Brunson sometimes, you could tell they know that he's the engine to this team and they double team him real quick, especially like the what was that? The Toronto game. The first Toronto game. Yeah. The coaches respect him.
This guy, I mean, it's just the first returns. What is this? What's USA Today? He was like, no Julius Randle, no Sabonis. Like, what's going on? Why is Derrick Rose on the list? It's just the first returns. Kevin Looney, twice. He got it twice with exclamation points.
Right, no Sabonis. I didn't really look at that too. You're right about that.
Sabonis, Bam, Adebayo, but this is just the first returns. These are just the first returns. Knicks fans will have an opportunity to redeem ourselves. DJ Shuttle, Randle got to be selected. he may or may not he may or may not be, depending on how we're doing, but we're talking about how the fans, our own fan base, didn't vote for him and Brunson enough for them to be in the top 10.
That's hard to believe, man. 100,000 votes is hard to believe that our guys couldn't get that. It's weird.
Oh, okay, DJ Shuttle. Yeah, he said fans gotta vote.
I think I voted 100,000 times.
Man, it's weird, man.
Oh, shout out to Jay Boogie.
Shout out to you, Jay Boogie. Answer my text, Jay Boogie. You would think that our fans would appreciate and love the name on the front of the jersey. To be able to see our uniforms in that game would show we are on the rise, but instead we pull ourselves down. I think it does say something about us as a team as well if you have one or two All-Stars on the team. You know?
Yeah, the Brunson thing is weird. The history of our franchise and our city in general with point guards is, everybody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So any point guard that we have, worth any bit of a damn, but should be getting votes for an All-Star game. It's weird. Popularity-wise, I should say.
Right. Anything else on this topic? And you know what? When I put this up, I was just like, wow, they didn't make the top 10, but it didn't really dawn on me like, but why didn't they? Why?
Right.
It's us. It's the fans. Like, why didn't they?
It's weird.
Sherwin, that's not what we're arguing right now.
Right. Look at that list.
We're not arguing that.
Derrick
We're just
Rose.
arguing why our fan base didn't vote for our players. Right? When you look at the guards, you see Derrick Rose at 9. Nick Claxton at 9. Austin Reeves at 9. Jeff says because Cam ain't playing, people are mad. And listen,
a whole another topic on its own.
Y'all
right.
not getting votes for Randle and Brunson because they're not playing Cam. That's crazy. That's some real spite right there.
Well,
yeah.
The reason why with the whole Cam thing, to jump back, is because remember Cam recently came out and said, look, they didn't even communicate with me what I could do to get back into the rotation. So it's like that's stating. And then remember with Rose was like, yo, I feel like I'm on the edge here. Like I don't know, like they're not communicating me what I need to do. So it's just like, what are our team doing? Like how are we conversing with these players? How we're developing these players, So it's one of those situations why it hurts. Like, okay, if Cam is stating that like they're not speaking with me, they're not telling me what I need to work on. Do I need to work on that? Do I need to work on that? Then it's like, what are we doing as an organization?
That was early though. I think Cam is clear right now that they're trying to trade him.
No, this was recent. This was a recent report. I read this, I want to say either last week where Cam said that. Like
he said that recently. He doesn't know what he needs to do to get back in the rotation.
Like the team didn't inform him what he needs to. So sorry to kind of go. The reason why Cam is on the bench is because, and it's just my point of view, I know everybody has their own point of view, is the way we utilized him. They placed Cam to guard the point guards and the two guards to kind of stay in front to stop the high pick and rolls. That's not for Cam. Cam will guard your 3s and your 4s. You want to put Cam on Ja coming full head of steam, he's going to get beat. Of course, Grimes will play that initial first, and Deuce would play that better. That's what he wanted to see. So that's where that issue lied with the defense. I believe that's the only reason why Cam was being benched is for his defense, and that's just him playing smaller guys.
I don't think so. I think Cam was being benched because Tibbs just wanted to go in a different direction, and he's being traded. And he never really gained. He never really gained Tibbs' trust. Even when he was in the lineup and he was playing well, His leash was so short. I mean, he played bad in the Dallas game, and he was terrible in that Dallas game, the first one. But I mean, come on. I mean, come on. So I agree that the that the leash was really short. But from what I hear, the Knicks are looking to trade him, and they're not going to risk injury.
Yeah.
At I think Cam got benched because his handle is very suspect, and sometimes he looks completely lost. Sometimes, but for the most part, I thought he played well in the minutes that he got for us, and I would have liked to have seen him stay in the rotation.
Especially with all the injuries we've had, you figure he'd have.
Correct.
That's how you know they're trying to trade him, though. He's an injury-prone player. I wouldn't play him either. Not if I'm trying to trade him.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're trying to win games, though.
Yeah, but in order to get something in return, Cam might mess around and get hurt coming out the tunnel, AJ.
Yeah, but Jerrell, how many times injured players get traded? That don't stop them because they know, if he pulled a groin, they're not gonna he's not gonna not get traded because he pulls a groin. They know what he could do. They'll just treat him for that, So
I get it.
KD, I mean, not that Grimes is KD, but KD was out of commission for like a whole season. He went to the Nets and they waited for him like a whole year. That don't stop teams from getting players. Injuries don't, I mean, Anthony Davis, we know Anthony Davis, he was a walk-in, he's an ambulance Davis. The Lakers got him anyway. So,
Up here,
yeah.
What you
and trade him.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely won't give Cam that extension.
No.
Boogie taking it hard. I'm with you. And AJ too. The same ones that don't hit the like button. By the way, hit the like buttons, ladies and gentlemen. Are the same ones who didn't vote. This is a sad day for our
It is. It's horrible.
base.
I can't understand how Brooklyn Nets fans support Nick Claxton more than we could support Julius Randle, who's balling right now.
Or Brunson. I mean,
Brunson,
if you didn't want to put your,
or IQ. I mean, we love Obi. Obi couldn't get 100,000 votes.
Austin Reeves.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing.
That's weird.
Well, let's go get out and vote.
I know. It sounds like we're talking about the presidential election now, right?
That's not crazy.
Maybe
My fellow Americans.
Maybe maybe they're still counting the votes. They didn't count the heavy Knicks fan areas, just like in regular elections.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about 20, but I hear you. How much are they willing to, give up for him?
Right.
How many are they willing to give up for him? All right. We are almost out of here. So let me just throw this up real quick. Right now, the Knicks are 6th in the Eastern Conference, tied with Indiana. I think we have the tiebreaker because we beat Indiana a few weeks ago. Where are you with this team? In terms of playoff aspirations, do you think they're a 6 seed? Do you think they're a play-in, or do you think it's just a matter of time before the bottom drops out?
Man, that's an option.
I'm trying to cover all the bases.
Bottom drop out. I'll go first. I mean, I think we're inconsistent, obviously, but I watch other teams play. Like other teams are inconsistent too. Obviously, nobody expects the Heat and the Hawks to be that bad going forward, especially like after the All-Star break. Like Toronto being 12, that's weird. The Bulls being 10, that's weird too. So I don't know. But I'm not really scared of those teams that much, especially not like Toronto and the Bulls. The Heat, yeah, just because of history. Atlanta has two, like their backcourts in the playoffs, can do some damage probably, but I think we remain around 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, like no lower than 8. If we drop below 8, I'd be kind of shocked, to be honest, by now.
Wow.
Like but we have to stay healthy though. Like if players are like, especially if Brunson can't stay healthy, then yeah, we can drop all the way down to 10 or 11. But if Brunson actually plays and Julius Randle doesn't have to play by himself, and RJ actually plays up to his potential before he got hurt with his hand, yeah, 6 to 8. Like I'll stay there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I say we're pretty much locked for 7th. I do think the Heat will kind of push up once they kind of get things rolling, and we'll be right under the Heat. My only concern is if we will fall even further, is due to the minutes that our top guys are playing, they can potentially get burnt out and their production could drop. That's pretty much the only thing that I can see that can hinder us for not making the play-in.
Yeah. And that's why, opening up the rotation is going to help, so there's some sacrifices that have to be made. We think about Obi Toppin. Oh, he's not a great, defender. I'm just hoping that it doesn't hurt us too bad. And it's a plus. Well, it's a net positive. Hopefully it's a net positive. We can get, that second unit back, McBride quickly. RJ was running with that third team with the second team because we were playing 9, Obi and Hartenstein, or Obi and Sims. Or Obi and Sims. But see, then you take McBride out and you go with a quickly Fournier, RJ. Now your defense suffers because now you got Fournier and Obi in that second unit. So you can't do that. You're going to have to keep McBride in there, especially if you're going to have Obi in there.
Well, wait. When RJ and Obi comes back, Fournier goes back to situational. He probably won't.
He's going to go back. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's done.
He's going to go back.
He's going to get traded. Then go back to.
I believe that too.
Well, I don't know. He has another year left on his contract. He's not an expiring, so it's not going to be easy.
Right.
So before the season started, Queen, I felt that at the halfway point, I think we're 2 games from the halfway point. I felt we were going to struggle out the gate because of chemistry issues. You bringing new players into the mix. And I feel we're going to play better in the second half. But so we got to end up over 500 at the 41 mark. At least one. Even if we lose the next 2 games, we're going to be at least 1 game over 500. So that's a good starting point, because I thought in my head, when we start the 42nd game, we're going to be probably like 3-4 games under 500, but we're already over 500. We're going to play better the second half of the season. But I didn't take into consideration the amount of minutes that these guys are playing. So I don't know, that will probably affect us a little bit, but I do think we're probably going to play better the second half of the season. So that would definitely put us in the playoffs, not in the play-in. What seed? I don't know, somewhere between either 5 or 6, but probably, hard playoff, not play-in.
I mean, honestly, AJ's right. Like, with Brunson being on the team and everybody was talking about like having adjustments, everybody has to adjust to him. We have a young team. We are supposed to be playing better basketball in the second half of the season.
Right.
Like we should. So I don't know. Like if we 3 games over 500 now, by that logic, we can jump up to like 5 or 4, just depending on what the other teams are doing, obviously.
Exactly.
But do you think
Unless
you think the
you said
Knicks
sort
are
of bottom out? Unless you said unless you
right?
said
Right.
bottom
No.
is like,
I just threw that in there. I'm
right,
just
right,
because
right.
I don't know who I'm dealing with in the chat. I don't know how much belief there is in this team right now. But in the fourth or fifth, you think the Knicks can overtake Cleveland or Philadelphia?
It's gonna be hard, man. I think injuries is gonna have a lot to do with it.
So this is the
Right.
thing. So
Mhm.
the Knicks right now, look at our road record compared to everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our road record, we're what 11-8. Cleveland 7-10. You know, Philly 7-9. Milwaukee 9-9. It's still early, but we play better on the road. And if we can stay 500 at home, but win all of our road games like we're doing, that's fourth seed. You know, from my perspective, if numbers correct me from previous years or other teams, that's fourth seed, because on the road was always the toughest for us.
Right.
So yeah, no, I
Philly
changed
is
it.
tough.
I
Philly
changed it. I'm going with
Philly is
fourth right
definitely
now. I'm
tough.
going with fourth.
Philly and Cleveland are tough.
I-
Like
They are.
so just roster wise, and roster doesn't always tell the story, right? Because you can have good chemistry and play above the talent on your roster if the chemistry is right and you're cooking at the right time, right? But just looking at roster, those teams that are ahead of the team right now, I feel like they have a better roster than the Knicks.
Oh, 100%.
I just don't think the Knicks are deep enough. And I think that's why these guys have to play so many minutes. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, let Sims play 25 minutes. Okay.
Right.
You know, I mean, he's
Right.
going to play well defensively, but not enough to offset 25 minutes worth of not so good offense, right?
Right.
So if we don't have a better roster than Philadelphia and Cleveland,
Mhm.
but you just think we could finish in fourth because
Hey,
of
man.
what? Because we're gonna win more on the road, or because
Well,
our chemistry is
so
better?
Didn't we beat Philly early in the season, and why? Because the player was out due to injuries. So injuries play a major fact, like we stated before. So yes, I'm banking on injuries.
Okay.
Okay.
You say he banking on injuries.
I'm banking on injuries.
But guys, listen. So in
Mhm.
between Philly and Cleveland, I'm not. I'm okay with playing Philly.
In what?
Let's say we go to
Playoffs?
playoffs. Let's say we go to playoffs, and
You said it what? Basketball?
yes. So between Philly and Cleveland, let's say our first round opponent, I would rather it be Philly than Cleveland. To me, Cleveland, we have no, like, Philly, we might win 1 or 2 games. Cleveland, we're just gonna get swept.
Well, we beat them once this season now.
It's a terrible matchup for us.
So wait, are we talking about a playoff series or just having a better record to get to that
No,
fourth seed?
well,
So we're talking
I-
about
I-
a better
I-
record to get to the
better
fourth seed.
record.
Yeah, I
Right.
kind of shifted the playoffs, but I'm saying, I shifted.
Oh, I thought you
We
meant
were-
in a series. I thought you meant in a series.
We were talking about a better record, but in a series, I would rather play Philly than Cleveland, like, because Cleveland, it's just a terrible matchup for us.
That's gonna be tough. I see your point though.
Like,
We do match up better with Philly than
yeah, we do.
Cleveland.
Oh,
we-
you're
we-
talking about a series. I'm just
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about finishing fourth.
Right.
When those guys,
switched it up.
those teams have a better
Yeah,
roster.
I kind of switched it up a little bit there, Quinn, so.
You
Yeah,
know,
I still think so. Like I said, if we could continue to beat the teams on the road and remotely stay relevant at home, regardless of what the other team is doing, we could probably get fourth.
We can't be losing to San Antonio Spurs though.
some teams just have your number though.
Oh,
Remember
true.
Orlando last season?
Orlando. Yep. OKC seemed like every damn season.
Oh yes, OKC too.
Every
I'm
season.
still traumatized by Orlando. I'm not comfortable with them yet, because I think we only played them once this year so far. I think
Who's that?
Orlando, the Magic.
I don't remember.
I don't
To be
remember.
honest. I don't remember.
I think we only played them once. We beat them, but I'm still, I'm still traumatized by last year. I'm afraid to play them. I think they're gonna beat us again this year.
I think the Knicks can pull off games that we should win. I don't think we have been playing up or down to the competition. I just think we just been making minor mistakes on closing games. So once we kind of get that, we should be fine.
And to your point, we have two players that if you need a basket, they can get you a basket. Like you can give them the ball, especially Brunson. Randle is playing lights out. I just need to see him more in clutch situations. Right now, when it comes to clutch shots, I have a little more faith in Brunson at this point. And part of it is I watched him in the playoffs, as well. But Sherwin said Toronto was in the 12th place, and they have a better roster than the Knicks. And that's why I think chemistry is the equalizer. Right? You can have a better roster, but if you don't have the chemistry, you're not going to play up to that talent.
Right.
And if you have great chemistry, you could play above your talent. And that was the Knicks when we were in the 4th seed 2 years ago. The defense and the chemistry had us playing above our talent level.
Yep.
Right? And so I really believe in those three guys, Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle. I just do.
Queen, stop with the RJ Barrett. Listen.
Why?
If you want to get a basket at the end of the game, time's running out. You giving it to RJ Barrett? I'm giving it to
No. But
if
throughout
the third
course,
option, okay,
I'm talking about through the course of the game in terms of how those three guys are going to lead the team and play for us. Listen, you can look at any roster. And they have a multitude of good players, but there's only one that you want to take the shot down the stretch. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying we have three players that you're going to get 20 some odd points of game. And I'm talking about the RJ Barrett the last 10, 12 games. He was playing well.
Beginning of the season.
Not the beginning of the season, RJ Barrett. The last 10 to 12 games. His 3-point shot was coming around. He was shooting like 40% from three.
Right.
Shooting 46.5% from the field. Finishing at the rim.
I hope the injury doesn't kind of reset him.
That's what we talked about. That's what we were talking about.
It's like a reboot for him, and he start from the starting point again.
That's what I said earlier in the show. I hope he doesn't need to rev up again.
He ain't gonna get right until Valentine's Day. Damn.
No, more like Easter.
Well, it could be a gift and a curse because he was playing high volume minutes, so a good break in between could refresh him, and then
I just hope RJ is hot during playoff time, towards the end of the season.
That if we make it to the playoffs.
Nah, we making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, we should. I think we should make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I said the bottom dropping out option, but nah.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Unless there's injuries, that is different. But other than injuries, yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this team unfolds down the stretch too. A larger sample size. You kind of get a sense of who we got, who the real players are, who can contribute, who may or may not be ready. But I'm really interested in seeing more of Brunson, more of RJ, more of Randle, more of Grimes, more of IQ. Yeah.
What about Deuce? You don't want to see more Deuce?
No. I mean, I like what I'm seeing from him on the defensive end, but I don't really have high expectations of Deuce this season. He got to get that shooting together.
That's weird though. That's weird that he shoots so well in the G League, but then in the NBA they don't even be checking him like that. So he'd be wide open and still missing, like as if he's I don't get it.
It's the volume. When he's in the G League, the competition is definitely not the same as the league, but he's the point guard. So he's getting up the shots, he get the control of offense. He definitely doesn't have Tibbs over his back, screaming out and calling out plays. So, he's a little bit more freer. And he put up 30 and 10 and 10 in the G League. So it's baffling, but that tells you the power that the NBA has and your coach.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Deuce McBride. I mean, if you look at his individual skill set, he needs to tighten up that handle so he can get where he needs to go on the floor. So there's certain things you can get away with on certain levels that as you move up, if I play against bitty basketball players right now, I'm going to get my shot off.
Right.
I don't even know if I can get my shot off against a high schooler at this point in my life. You know what I mean? As you move up in level of competition, it becomes harder and harder to do what you do.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, man.
So you could, he got to work on that handle. He got to work on the handle. We could talk about his shot. Oh, okay.
I agree. Yeah, it's definitely the handle. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, I noticed this last season with McBride, but I said, he's not getting a lot of reps. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna, really bang on him in terms of his he's shooting like 25% from the field and like 19% from three or something like that. I mean,
but he don't turn it over though. That's that's
well,
a good
those
thing.
shots are turnovers.
Oh,
When you shooting, when you shooting 19%, that's a turnover.
You know what I think about that?
Oh, that's funny.
Well, Mitch is grabbing. That's what Mitch is getting those 5 offensive a game. So
anyway, any last words? Anything you wanted to say, and we kind of moved off quickly. You didn't get a chance to say, or anything that came to your mind afterwards?
It's just revenge game coming up. That's about it. How we feeling about this revenge game on Friday?
Yeah, we're in Toronto, right? I actually think Julius Randle's gonna have a big game tomorrow. I think Julius Randle's the type of person that remembers stuff, and Siakam put it on him last time they played. So put it on him. So he gave him the beats real bad. Gave him 50 in the Garden. Yeah, go to Toronto and do something to him, Julius Randle. Like that's what I'll be looking for. Like I think he's gonna be really, really aggressive. That might not be a good thing. But I think it's going to be in him too. Now, Randle always played good against Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
That's for a reason. It's like a rivalry thing. I think him and Siakam giving him 50 in the Garden. Yeah, you have to go to being the leader, being who you are. You want to be on the All-Star team and have people vote for you. Go in Toronto and put up like 40 with a win. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to play. I think Julius Randle has to step up to that challenge tomorrow. Maybe he can get, more than 90,000 votes from 30 million people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Right. Yeah. And did Brunson play the last Toronto game? So he'll be back for us. That'll help. Yeah.
No, he did play.
No, he did.
Oh, he did?
They equalized him.
Yes, they did. Remember, they were crowding him, double teaming him, and even when they didn't double team, they were crowding him and cutting off the lanes.
Yeah, they had the kid that kid from Hustle on him. That played in that movie. What's his name?
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah,
Bo Cruz.
Bo Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna
Hernan Gomez.
I don't know. Aren't getting all those minutes over
Sims.
They playing together though a lot too. But yeah, I kind of get that too. If you're not going to use iHeart the way he's supposed to be used, you might as well just play Sims.
You're not getting any offense from Sims though.
But you're not really getting none from iHeart if you're just going to have him not shoot 3-pointers at the 3-point line.
At least you could get a floater every now and again.
That is true. I do like his touch in the paint. That's different.
And sometimes he doesn't even look to score. He get the ball. He looking for everybody. Look, turn. The same thing with Mitch. Sometimes we know you're not going to shoot it, but turn. Make people think you're going to do something. He just won't look at the basket, and he's right there. He got his back turned to the basket. He's looking for people. Anyway,
hold on. Sherman said
Siakam played the front. He played the 5 in that game, but he's going to play the 5 tomorrow. So if you put Randle on him, who are you putting Mitch on? OG Anunoby, who's playing the 4? it's going to be a matchup problem tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a matchup problem.
And he did guard him sometimes. Some of them buckets was on him.
Right.
He didn't guard him the whole game, but yes, he got buckets too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now you could put Sims on him because Sims can move his feet. But how many minutes you going to play Sims? So that means what? Mitch is not going to play. We need Mitch for our defense, right? Randle has to play, so that's it. Yeah, it's going to be.
See.
Yeah,
like regardless of who's playing Siakam, I think Randle just need to step up. You have a big game.
Obi back tomorrow, but I'm not putting Obi on Siakam now.
No. Man,
why not? Make him work on the offensive end. Hopefully that can slow him down.
Obi gonna make who work on the offense?
Obi runs in transition. Obi moves a lot. He's not gonna stay in one spot. He's going to move. So
Obi, I remember my nephew. He's in his 30s now, but he was a little something. And I went to his game, and all he would do would be over in that the baseline extended on a 3-point line.
His arms over.
I'm here. I'm right here.
I'm right. Anytime. You know what I mean? I'll be here all night.
I'm ready.
You know
I'm ready.
I'll be here all night. Ain't nobody guard me right here. You know what I mean? Look up.
Yeah.
That better not happen. Like, don't put Obi on him though.
And Tibbs, don't put Grimes on. Like Tibbs be trying to put Grimes on everybody.
Yeah, I did that too. Like,
who's Embiid? We playing Embiid? All right, Grimes.
Yeah.
He put him on everybody.
Hey, you would think Grimes is like the best defender on the planet. The way Tibbs be having him do assignments, man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
he played the best perimeter player. If they 7 foot tall, he's still playing them.
We played Milwaukee. Yo, you got Giannis.
right.
Like, damn, you got on Giannis?
And he gives up a lot of inches. Who did we play recently? We had Grimes on him. I was like, he just shooting right over Grimes.
Unrealistic, man. Like, he's
Luka.
a good defender, but
That was Luka.
Yeah. Boy, he was shooting over. He was
got
shooting
like
over
4
everybody.
inches. Yeah, he shoot over everybody, but yeah, Grimes is like a gnat to him. He's way too big and too crafty with the ball.
I mean, as we didn't get a chance to talk about, we talked about a few trade rumors. I just really hope there's a 6'7" somebody in the Knicks plans.
There's a 6'7" somebody,
6'7" or taller that can play defense.
Right.
And score.
And
basically,
score.
You want somebody like Cam that they like.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
A likable Cam.
Yeah.
For Tibbs, I should say.
Yeah. But somebody that's gonna play with a little.
Well, yeah, I don't mean the way. Like, I'm just talking about like intangibles.
Right.
Not like Cam's motor. Yeah, Tibbs not gonna like that, but.
Yeah.
Grimes on Boban. Get him, Grimes.
SGA, yeah, you're gonna have to give up a lot. I don't even think he's available. But
would you give up a lot though? I would. That boy is young and unstoppable.
But
so if you do the SGA trade, right?
Yeah.
You obviously somebody has to go. Who are you moving? You're moving Barrett, right? If I'm correct.
Name someone. I don't care.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm not like, like I like RJ, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he can go.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing about it is we're running into the same problem, and even more so in terms of giving up assets and not having enough left. At least with Mitchell, he's a bit more proven than SGA. Now I believe SGA is a budding star, but he may or may not. You're still rolling the dice, that his trajectory will continue, right? Yeah. What? depending on what they ask for, yeah. But
Right.
I would be upset if they went all in on SGA and they wouldn't go all in on Donovan Mitchell, who's young, been to 3 All-Star games, and is a little more proven.
But I think that's just because they hit the snooze button on that alarm, though. I think they really did want Donovan Mitchell. It just slipped through their fingers. So this could be like not the saving face, but you know what I mean? Like they wanted Donovan Mitchell, they just didn't get him. So they might even have a bigger package for SGA. Never know.
Right. I think Jaylen Brown, Kevon, if we get him, it's going to be in free agency.
Right.
Boston, I just don't see Boston trading him.
He would have to force his way out and then like demand us.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right. You're going to lose me for nothing unless you trade me to the Knicks.
Right. On some Melo stuff, just like Melo did back in the day. It would have to be that situation. And that situation really doesn't happen anymore, really. It's like few and far between, maybe like James Harden to Philly. I mean, name somebody else. Like, you have to trade me here or whatever.
Yeah. I agree, Ally-wise. He is bigger. I'm just thinking about experience, especially if you're moving up all your assets. I would like a little more known commodity, but I'm not going to be upset if they traded for SGA. It reminds me, I think he's budding into, into a star. He hasn't played in a playoff game though.
Right.
We've seen.
I was just going to say, even though he is bigger, he doesn't really play bigger than Donovan Mitchell. They play around the same size, even though he got like 5 inches on him. Donovan Mitchell just plays that much bigger than what his height is.
Right.
Totally agree.
Right. Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. It's always always a pleasure. We'll be back here next Thursday. I don't think the Knicks play next Thursday.
I don't know. I could look real quick, but I don't think so. Because we had already mapped out how many times they had played on Thursday.
It was like 4. It was like 5, I think.
Right. We play Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah.
And Sunday.
Okay.
So every other day.
Okay. Next week. Who is Mitch defending tomorrow? That's exactly what we was talking about, JJ.
Right. Exactly.
They have Siakam at. I looked at who they played last. Their starting lineup last game against Milwaukee. Maybe they'll change it because they have flexibility, with their roster. And Anunoby played 4 and Siakam played 5. And they do that a lot. And maybe that's so that he can match up with but Giannis played 4 because Brook Lopez played the 5.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I think if they play him at 5 to force the Knicks into a bad matchup, Mitch is probably shouldn't get that many minutes, but that hurts us when he's not on the floor defensively. But you can't play Mitch at the 5 with Siakam. You got to go with Sims. You got to go with Sims.
I don't know if it's that much of a drop off
between Sims and
Mitch. Just with defending the rim, but everything else. Like I think Sims is capable of playing Siakam out there because Siakam plays on the perimeter a lot. But
yeah.
But Mitch is obviously a better rim protector. But everything else, I like Sims switching. Stuff
no
like
doubt.
that.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
He's good.
I agree.
Is there any salute to Edwin? He said any score predictions for tomorrow?
124 to 1. Wow.
We putting up 1-2 on them. Okay, Edwin. I like Edwin. Y'all got us winning. I don't know about 124. I give us 112 and them 103.
Okay.
We up 9.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right.
Hold on. I gotta look at the score of that last game. So it was 106 to 113. That's tough. I think it's most likely going to be around that same range, but I think it's going to be a close game. So I'm thinking probably 106 to 103. Knicks pulling out another tight one.
Not if we don't hit our free throws.
Well, Jalen Brunson stated that the last game. He said, "Yo, we're gonna work on our free throws." So hopefully they're in that gym right now.
Look at the free throw. Started 18th overall, 25th, 7th, 30th, and over the last 4 games, they're 29th. During that 5-game losing streak, they were 30th.
Yeah.
During the 8-game win streak, they were 7th.
We've never been a good free throw shooting team.
We haven't.
I gotta blame Tibbs for something tonight, so that's on Tibbs.
That's on Tibbs. All right,
I got blame for something.
You want to win, you want to win close games. You gotta hit your free throws. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna pick the Knicks too. I'm gonna say 112, 108 squeaker.
Yeah.
AJ, what you got, bro?
I got the Knicks. Hey, listen, I think the Knicks. I expect the Knicks to win every game. I'm dead up. When they lose, I'm like, I try to convince myself they can't win them all, but I do expect them to win.
Every time we lose, you shocked?
Yeah. And I'm still still upset about the Brooklyn Nets game. Remember I told you that the last time?
AJ, that was 2 months ago, bro. You gotta get over that.
I don't even remember the game.
I do.
And I was pissed after that game too.
It plays in my head constantly. I am pissed about that game.
Right.
Wow.
They didn't show up when they were supposed to. That's what it was. It was how we lost.
Man. Yeah. But no, we definitely gonna win. I don't know the score, but we're gonna win by like 5 or 7 points.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Well, let me shout out the chat. Thanks for watching. Follow me at BKSteph33. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you'll be notified anytime I go live or drop a video. Hit the like button on your way out. Share this on your social media feed, as well. So that way, those who didn't make it into the chat today, they can view it tomorrow on their way to work. They can view it while they're, cleaning up, doing laundry, or what have you. But shout out to Sherwin, Edwin P, Nick Yak, Almighty Finesse, Kevin Bergen. I'm not going to get to everybody. Nick Nations 112, Ally Wise, JJ, of course, Drip more snuck in here. I didn't see you. Appreciate you. Kevin Bergen, Keith Turner, Almighty Finesse, Manchild, Corey Lee, David L, East Blue, Drew, Rand Rock, Trav, Beaver. Trav, I couldn't even play I'm afraid to play the Randle thing. He didn't.
He said you could play it.
No, I know he said I could play it, but I'm afraid to play it because it's just the fans don't appreciate Randle. So I just feel like if I play it, the likes might go down for this show. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to save it for another time. But that's one of my matter of fact, I might play it on our way out. I'll play it as the extra.
No, we support Trav, so we're definitely we're rock with it.
Well, you gonna play it at the end, so you can't get no feedback.
All right, I'm gonna play it. Should I play? I'm just saying. I just feel like the fans ain't really feeling it. But
man, vote for that man. He's playing well, man. When we win,
I thought I did
man.
not.
Put our guys on the All-Star teams. Vote for them.
What? All right, I'll play it. I thought
At least get Brunson in. We've been screaming for a point guard for 2 decades.
They say I'm not built for the city. Then why am I still here and I'm still gritty? Stood my ground, never left them ghosts. Out of every other player, I had to change my game the most. I am just another player, I don't need no standing no. After all them shots fired, I am still standing though. Yeah, that fire's still burning when I'm running coast to coast. Yeah, they call me Mark Berman, I bring trouble to the post. They say I'm not a leader, that is just BS. Try to take away my 4th seed like they ACS. Had the city on my back, and I did my best. And I'm still strong enough to wear it across my chest. You don't have to scream 30 when I'm on the floor, but you'll need 30 of me when you go to war. And they move the goalposts when I try to score, screaming we here like I didn't start that off. Yo, my fam love it here, and I have no regrets. I'm part of y'all success, look how easy we forget. I picked a different role and I never missed a step. When things ain't right, I'm still really good with my left. Come on, they say I'm not built for this city. Then why am I still here and I'm still grinning? 20, 10, and 5 ain't allowed. Well, this time I do it with a smile. 30.
Yeah, no,
Wow. Yeah. Listen, don't take your likes away. You know, we just showing Randle a little love and actually showing love to Trav V.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Trav V Ryan, appreciate you for all that you do. All right, Knick family, we are out of here.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope soul.
Where you at? Where you at?